Howdy, fellow budget archers. This is for penurious archers, guys who spend $150 on a dozen arrows. You probably won't find anything here. I'd spend $150 on good arrows if I could. That is not happening now. So, I buy cheap arrows. I have purchased some naked shafts, but they've been in the shipping process for almost 2 months now. When I get those, I'll build the arrow from scratch. But I have always bought cheap arrows. These are Musin, 400 spine. They say they're carbon. I suspect it's carbon with fiberglass. But they're actually good arrows. They're rugged. They've held up with a lot of use. They come with the PU vanes. When those wear off, I put on some proper fletchings. But the problem with these cheap arrows that I've seen across the board is that they tend to be lighter with a stiffer spine. So a stiffer spine, one would think more material, thus heavier weight. For whatever reason, it doesn't work that way. The 500 spine version of these is about 34 grams or 35 grams, which is fine for me. I'm shooting a 60-pound Falco Myth, so I need to keep the grains per pound. I stick with 9 grains per pound. You can go as low as 8.5 on that bow, but to get to 9 grains per pound with an adequately spined arrow, it's pretty much impossible just buying the cheap arrows. So the solution to that is paracord, 550 paracord. I'm going to go ahead and weigh this arrow. $27.5 grams, which is going to equal grains in a moment. So it's 27.5 grams times the magic number, 15.432. That gives us 424 grains, which is too light for my bow. And if you're shooting a heavier poundage, you'll run into this issue as well. So I take a cut of paracord, the length of the shaft. Now, of course, you have the insert, which takes up some space, but I want that. So pop off the nock, stuff the paracord in. So this is leaving approximately a ½ inch. You can go a bit more, but what I do is I twist it. It builds lateral tension. It kind of springs the paracord, I guess, a bit, but it's not going to impact. You know, when the arrow strikes the target, it's not going to just pack down. It should stay uniformly distributed. So let's see what that's done. Typically, 30 inches of 550 paracord will add about 100 grains. So right now we're at 34.5 grams. 34.5 times 15.432. Now I'm up at 532 grains. That gets me to my 9 grains per pound minimum, and that's a cheap arrow that was too light, now weighing just what I need. Now this, again, the paracord, the paracord or nylon rope idea, it's not my idea. Other guys have done this, but it does work. I've not seen it with paracord yet, but paracord is ubiquitous. When you get 550, you generally know what you're getting. These shafts, with almost all of the cheap arrows, they tend to be an inner diameter of 6.2 millimeters. So the 550 paracord has some play. You know, it slides in fairly easily, but when you leave it a bit longer than the available space in the shaft and twist it and force it in, I think it works pretty well. So I had, earlier I tried to cut off exactly an inch of 3 different 550 paracords. I have a green, orange, and black. The weight difference was very small. 2 at 0.260 and the green one came in at 0.280. So you can expect with 30 inches of paracord to get approximately 100 grains out of it, and it's a good number. So, well, that's that.